challenge that every government should address.
Okay. And Mollen, looking at some of the excess taxes that are being proposed, including what they are calling the Export Investment Promotion Levy, that will be imposed on imported clinker. And of course, knowing that we are going into the housing agenda, so you want to tax clinker coming from outside the country. What does that do? Does it help the local cement manufacturing sector, or does it make it favorable for certain companies and worse for others?
I think the intention is good, but look at it from this angle that while you are trying to protect the local manufacturers against importation, you're already making it very difficult for them to even produce, because already the cost of production at home is very high. So technically what you're saying is that even though you will introduce that import levy, still when somebody imports, it will be even cheaper because the cost of producing it locally is not cheap. And two things that have been mentioned that I would quickly go into so that we are not lost into it, that there is no taxation on LPG. There is what we call VAT exemption, but there is no tax. The issue of, that we are mixing two things here. When you say there is no taxation and when you say there is VAT exemption, those are two things. Mm-hmm. So what the government is proposing is that it's increasing VAT on fuel, but exempting LPG. So what that would mean then, therefore, is that they are exempted, fine, the cost will come down. But remember, the business owner is not allowed to claim input VAT. So technically, that means that the cost of LPG will still go up because that cost will be passed on to the consumer. Another thing is that let us look at the cost of living from the aspect of introduction of moving the turnover tax from 1% to 3%. Right. That if you are doing business and you are being told to pay upfront already an increment of about 2%. Ordinarily, those small businesses, when you look at their profit margin, it is really not more than around 5%. So putting in an advance collection of 3% would really not make it very easy in the cost of doing business, but that translates again to cost of living, because now you're already taking money away from me that then I cannot even now manage myself. The other aspect is that should not be lost unto us is the issue of what we call the proposal in the finance bill to have 20%. When you have a tax appeal, right. When you have a case, you have a tax case, and you want to appeal, the bill proposes that as a business owner, you are supposed to deposit 20% upfront of the tax, the disputed amount of tax. That would definitely mean that businesses will have very difficult times to raise that money. Liquidity will be a challenge. The next thing is that businesses will close, because look at Keroche. The amount of tax dispute that has been involved in that case is huge. Mm-hmm. So when you insist that the taxpayer deposits 20% upfront within 24 hours, actually, if to be very precise, it's within 24 hours, then you're creating a liquidity challenge in doing business. So I think those are issues that we have been overshadowed by the housing levy, and we've not looked at some of those things. And another quick one that probably we may not get time to speak about is we have the BETA, that is the bottom-up economic transformation agenda, that speaks to health as one of the things that the government wants to focus on. But you look at a proposal that initially in the previous finance bills, acts, we've not had corporation tax on companies that manufacture human vaccines. Yes. But now we are introducing a 10%. What you're technically making is that vaccines are going to be very expensive, making health not affordable. So I think we really need to look at those things and link them to what you are proposing in the bill.
John, kwa kifupi sana, manake naarifu muda wetu umekwisha. Kwa sekunde chache pengine tumefika hapa kwa sababu tumeambiwa tuna madeni makubwa na serikali.